because you're here, though, Stephen A., we have to go to your Knicks because they've now lost 7 of their last 10, and they're currently out of the playoffs. And so I feel like I just need to give you the floor here, give you the space to process your Knicks.
The New York Knicks have lost 4 of their last 5. They've lost 7 of their last 9. So at the very least, over the last 2 weeks, the New York Knicks have been trash, period. They're a disappointment to me. They're a disappointment to Spike Lee. They're a disappointment to season ticket holders that they charge exorbitant prices to come and watch them play. And it starts with their leader, Julius Randle. He ain't getting it done. And I'm not talking about his numbers, because averaging 18 and 10 ain't too shabby. I'm talking about his attitude and being ultra-sensitive, and as a result, being preoccupied with himself as opposed to the team. If you look at him, he dribbles the ball entirely too much. I don't know why the hell Tom Thibodeau got him outside the three-point line, dribbling the ball between his legs. Don't get me started with that. And I'm actually getting to a point where, first of all, I'm going to owe Jay Williams a Tom Ford suit. I'm going to owe him a suit because I bet him that the New York Knicks, stupidly, I bet him, and I've already lost the bet.
Can you get RJ
I've already lost the
bet.
Well, he does, Mr. Chippendales, I don't know what the hell was up with him yesterday with the 4 buttons, loose or whatever. I don't know what he was trying to prove, but that's neither here nor there. In the end, I am a lifelong diehard New York Knicks fan, and I actually can sit here and tell you on national TV, I don't want the New York Knicks to make the playoffs. And the reason I don't want the New York Knicks to make the playoffs is because I don't want you to recover from this enough to sit up there and be able to say, hey, we gonna be all right. It's not all right. It's not all right. And so losing and missing the playoffs will send the right message that back to the drawing board, and maybe then we'll have a Leon Rose sighting. Who doesn't do interviews, for crying out loud? I mean, I don't know anyone that has been seen less than Leon Rose.
I have a question for you, but first, you talk about, bringing the game first and foremost. So I want to bring you to the big board because you brought me, during First Take, you let me do your Stephen A's list when it comes to MVP. Come join me as we break down the Knicks so you can see it up close and personal, because you may not have watched yesterday because of Ja, but I need to remind you of some things. Come over here. It's right over there. I want to remind you of some things before I ask you this big question. So Julius Randle obviously has not played to the level that we saw that inspired that huge playoff run, even though it was stopped shorter than expected. But the reality is the last 5 games, the New York Knicks, they've gone 1-4. And during that time, Stephen A., they've had the 4th worst offense, and the offense starts with him. And so I want to point out a few things. So roll me my tape producer, Quake, cool, baby. All right, 3-point shots. You're not in love with those, Stephen A., right?
No, not at all. Especially when Julius Randle shoots 30% for 3.
Yeah, he had a lot of open shots that just did not go down. And sometimes when you feel like you shoot these shots where the defender's hands are down, all right, you have to keep shooting. Instead, get to the rim. But when he did try to get to the rim, look here, you've got 4 defenders. Maybe you're supposed to find a guard outlet. Instead, he's loose with the ball. And this is a quick, turnover, lost possession that loses your momentum. But right here, this is what you're talking about, Stephen A. You attack, but
he's going left.
He is going.
He's going left.
But look, when he attacks, he's supposed to make the extra play. Instead, he sort of forced it. So this was, all the issues on display for the leader of their team. And it begs the question, after you watched all of these plays, Stephen A., do you think that a trade is what is better in this scenario?
I would have said no before his attitude showed me something different. You got to have the right attitude. My biggest problem with Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett, probably prior to the attitude issues, was the fact that I don't give a damn if they're going up the block, around the corner, through the arena. They're coming left. Just wait for them to come left. They're coming there. They're coming left. That was my problem with them. But now it's taken on a life of its own, because if you're Tom Thibodeau, why you have this guy away from the basket, dribbling the ball between his legs or whatever, you ever look at Julius Randle up in person? You see how strong and powerful he is? All you have to do is take the ball, attack or dish. Attack or dish. He out there acting like he Kyrie. He don't have those kind of skills. He's a one-armed bandit, okay? He's the modern-day Clyde Drexler, but you ain't on that level. When it's like that, pass the ball. And that's what he's not doing. And then the attitude problems, of course they should entertain trading him. They absolutely should at least entertain it.
Okay, thank you for sharing the space with me. You let me do that on First Take today.
Well, what's bad is that you know basketball. So because you know basketball, you get to dissect and slice it up to make me feel even worse. Your
A-list was all right.
Let me help you with
At least,
Thank you, sir.
R.J. Barrett has been maybe a tiny bit of a bright, I'm not trying to give you silver linings, but a tiny bit of a bright spot in this stretch.
R.J. Barrett?
R.J. Barrett, he said that he started to play a little bit better. He's feeling like he's getting into a rhythm after missing some time with a non-COVID illness and a COVID illness. So sort of all of that was going down with the Knicks too. But we'll give you a break.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.